Welcome to the High Level Entrepreneur, a podcast with me, Joella Skog. In today's episode, I want to talk about this very interesting phase that happens when you have gotten to a very comfortable point in your business. Because the first couple of years, you pushed, you hustled, you got the clients, you did all the marketing, you really put in the work. And then you achieved everything you had been looking to achieve. You achieved all of your goals. You got to a good revenue level. You have a good salary. You like the clients you work with. You attract clients organically to you. And you're kind of like, all right, I am very comfortable. But at the same time, I know that I want to do more. But you kind of keep hitting this plateau where you know that you want more, you want to increase your revenue, you want more money, all of that stuff, but you're very comfortable and you kind of end up making a lot of excuses for yourself for why you shouldn't launch that offer that you know will scale your business. You end up feeling a little bit lazy and not recognizing yourself because you're actually quite ambitious and you have a lot of capability inside of you, but you start to feel extremely comfortable and a little bit lazy. All right. And it's not that you have lost your ambition. It's not that you don't have any drive anymore. The problem is that for years and years and years, you were motivated by escaping from the pain of potentially failing, of not having enough money, not having clients, needing to chase clients, whatever it was. Like for years and years and years, you were working hard towards your goals and now you have achieved those goals, right? And I recently had a client inside Industry Leader Lounge actually bring this up because this is a client that is generating multiple six figures in revenue. She knows exactly how she could make that up to 700K in revenue. Like we have the plan, we know how it can be achieved, right? And she has the brand, she has the capability, she has the leads. Like she could achieve all of that stuff, right? So then why does she feel like losing motivation of getting those stuff done and doing the things that she knows will lead to their results? Like, what is it? What happens when you kind of see the path forward? Like, I could, do all of those things. I know what to do. The problem isn't that I don't know what to do. I know what to do. The problem is I'm not doing it. And why? Maybe you don't recognize this in yourself because you were never a person to procrastinate heavily. It was easy for you to get shit done. It was easy for you to do things like take action was the easiest thing in the world. And you posted on social media for years and years while other people were just like complaining about their imposter syndrome. You were like, well, I'm making moves here. Like I'm taking action. I'm getting clients. Like things moved fast for you. Maybe it didn't feel like it at the time, but looking back, like you've succeeded very well. So then why do you get to this point where I'm pretty successful at this point, especially in comparison to most people, but I do want more, but I'm also wondering, do I? Because I'm very comfortable here, right? And I want to explain to you the reason why you feel like this is because, once again, your motivation in the past was very much driven by getting away from the pain of not having enough. Like your motivation came from a place of most likely scarcity, like some place of I want to get to 10K months or I want to get to 15K. Like I want to take out enough money from my salary. I want stability. I want leads to know who I am. Like it came from a place of feeling like you need to do those things, like you have to do those things. So that's why sometimes I feel like entrepreneurs that are in the early phases of their business can sometimes be some of the most motivated clients because they are like, they know what they want and they know that they're willing to do it, right? But the entrepreneurs that are further ahead, like, they can get very comfortable, like almost like a little bit lazy, even though they aren't lazy, right? And I want to explain to you why this happens. Well, one thing is that you might have a fear of screwing up everything you have achieved so far. Like, you might have a fear of, I'm so comfortable now, and what if I make a move? What if I take a risk and I lose what I built? Like, what if I, for example, decide to free up time and say no to a couple of clients? But what if I don't make that money back in my new venture? Like, what if I don't get ROI on that time I spent on building this new phase of my business? Or what if I lose the leads? What if I lose my clients? What if, like, or what if people won't come to me anymore? Like, whatever it is, it can be fear of ruining everything you have built so far and losing the comfort and the stability. Because remember, like, why would most people won't make a change when they are comfortable? Because the pain of going into a direction that you don't know what it's leading to, that's like not so attractive, right? Compared to just staying where you are. Like, if staying where you are is comfortable, the problem is you're probably gonna stay there, right? Unless, and I'm going to get to that, unless. But what I want to explain to you is, of course, you feel demotivated, like, because in the past, where you were was not as good as the point you could get to, right? The early years in your business, like, it was like, no, I'm not making enough money. I don't have enough clients. My brand isn't strong enough. Like, I need to get to that point further down and feel relaxed and feel comfortable. Like, that's what you wanted to achieve. So when you achieve that comfort, you're no longer like trying to escape from anything. Like, life is pretty good, right? So why would you really want to leave that, right? And that's why a lot of people maybe don't, and they just get stuck in the same place for years and years on end because it's comfortable. And if that's you, that's fine. Like, you can stay where you are, but the truth is, most people don't want to stay where they are, especially if they are entrepreneurs. You have ambition, you have a drive, you have capacity. If you valued comfort, you would not be an entrepreneur. So let's go back and remember who the F you are, and that is an entrepreneur. You are not an employee. You are not in a C-suite leadership position. Like, you are an entrepreneur, right? And you have to remember why you became an entrepreneur, right? And you have to find the reason to grow. And the reason to grow can be simply to grow, to see if you have what it takes, right? Or to expand as a person and as a leader, right? I truly believe expansion in itself can be a goal. Like, if the goal is only comfort, stay where you are, fine. You know, if that is like, comfort is your number one value in life. I don't believe that, right? I don't really believe that. But if that is the number one value in your life, whatever, like, stay where you are. But I doubt it, because if you're listening to this podcast episode right now, you care about expansion. You want to expand. You want more. You want to make more money. Let's be honest here, right? You don't want to stay stuck where you are. And it's not because where you are is bad. You know, the reason to change and evolve isn't always because your current level is bad. Okay? It's because you want to improve, because you can improve, because you can have more abundance. But I usually see that when people have this like block and don't want to improve, it's usually related to a fear of what it will take to achieve more. So it means the fear of losing your comfort. And it could mean like yes, maybe let's say you're at $150,000 per year. It's comfortable. You probably have a decent salary. You can reinvest some of your money into your business. You have an assistant, all right? Probably. It's fine. It's good, right? It's good enough. And you don't have to feel like you hate your current life or you don't like your current level in order to get to the next one. But you have to start asking yourself, like, why do I want to grow? Why do I want to expand? And I asked myself that question as well when I had way past 6 figures, my first 6 figures. I had to start asking myself that question, like, why do I want to grow? Why do I want to double my revenue? Why do I want to continue? Do I just want to maintain or do I want to continue? And it took some time to get to that answer. And for me, my answer was that I want to expand for the purpose of expanding. Like, I want to grow as a person. If I'm not growing, I'm stalling, and I don't want to be someone who stalls. Like, I don't want to be someone who is not evolving and isn't growing and isn't expanding. Like, that's not my identity. That's not who I want to be. And I also feel like I know that I have the capacity to grow a successful business. But I want to push myself and see who I can become in that process. And I want to see who that person is. That version of me who runs a 7-figure business, 8-figure business, And for you, maybe it's not about 7 or 8 figures. Maybe it's just about multiple 6 figures. Like, maybe it's about doubling your revenue, your current level. Maybe it's about, your salary right now. Let's say it's like $4,000 per month. Maybe you want it to be like $10,000 per month. Like, maybe you want to be able to have more money for your kids, Maybe you want to be able to buy a new car. Maybe you want more comfort in your life and pay other people to do things for you so you can save time and spend time with your family. Like, I want to emphasize that not everyone needs to grow a big business or do anything extraordinary. Like, I personally don't even think that there's anything extraordinary necessarily. Like, I want to do what I feel is extraordinary. I want to live my own extraordinary life. I'm not doing anything for other people's pleasure or to fit into some mold of what success is, right? I'm just trying to see how far I can take it. I want to challenge myself. Like, I want to go on this journey even with all of its like lows and highs and the challenges, right? And, I kind of believe that money is a good goal. Like, I think money can be a very good way to motivate yourself to expand. Because in the end, like, your business is about money. Like, you don't have a business if it's not making money. So money is important, let's face it. But I also believe that you need to have some kind of bigger vision beyond money if you want to expand. Like, it can't only be about money. I truly believe that it needs to be about your own inner evolvement, like, the way that you evolve as a person, or it needs to be about your message, whatever you're passionate about changing, or it can also be about having fun. Like, I just believe it needs to be something bigger than money. Like, I think it needs to be something that you can connect to emotionally than just a number in, at the end of the year when you're calculating doing the bookkeeping and you're seeing where you ended at, and you can feel good about yourself. Like, I think that's not a big enough motivation to grow in the long run. Like, you need to connect back to, if you want to make more money, what I'm trying to say. Like, if you want to make more money, you need to connect back to why. And besides money, like, what is the thing that you connect to? Why did you start this business in the beginning? Why are you so passionate about this topic? And you know, what is it that you want more people to understand and do and get? And it's really about fulfilling yourself. That's what it is. Like, I believe we all have some kind of purpose, and I don't know what your purpose is. My purpose might be different than your purpose, but we all have some kind of purpose. And I think it's your job to make sure you are on your life path fulfilling that purpose as much as you possibly can. And like walking that path and not getting lazy, not stopping, not stalling, not being comfortable, right? I think it's about like, it's your duty to walk on that path and fulfill yourself and be the person that you're meant to be and expand your identity and expand your capacity as an entrepreneur. Okay? Because the truth is, do you really want to be the person who's not stretching yourself anymore, not investing anymore, not feeling challenged, not having a vision anymore because you're done? Like, I always had a friend once years ago who was like, but now we're done. Like, she was like, we had just turned 30 or something. She was like, well, now we're done. Like, I don't have anything more that I want to achieve. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, life is about so much. And if you are at the age of, I don't care, 30, 40, 50, 60, and you feel like you're done, this is good, everything is perfect. No, that's not what life is about. That's not what life is about. I think the whole purpose of life is like we really try to figure it out until the very end of our days. And then hopefully we've gotten as far as we can, right? As far as we possibly can. I would never want to die and feel like I didn't expand my capacity and push myself and challenge myself and did things that I was scared of and did things that I felt was something that I had blocks for. Like, I don't want to feel like I lived my life following my blocks and my fears, right? So the thing is, what I'm trying to say here is the version of you that built your current level was the version of you that just focused on the end goal. And the end goal is where you are right now. Like, the end goal was where you are right now in your life, in your business. That was the end goal. And that you were always making decisions to escape. You were always making decisions to escape what you didn't have and trying to change your situation. That was the identity. So now your identity is like aligned with your goal that you had years ago. And if you feel like then it's like an identity misalignment problem because you're no longer connected to a bigger goal and a bigger vision. You're no longer connected to the version of you that has more money, more abundance, more time, right? You don't have that connection. And I think that's where like the identity misalignment is. Like, you've gotten so comfortable because you achieved all of your goals that you had initially and your identity has not expanded. It hasn't grown. It's like you still feel like bigger and more would require harder work from you. It would require more effort from you. It would require you to be someone you don't feel like you are. So therefore you think that I would have to sacrifice so much and I would have to sacrifice this current level that I'm at in order to achieve more. When that is not true at all, the difference is that you need to become the person who has more. And then getting more will be easier, it will be faster and more effortless. If you, however, believe that the version of you who is currently extremely comfortable and kind of like, feels like, this level is fine for me. If you believe that you can make decisions from that comfort that's going to lead you to 600K years, 700K years, 800K years, a double salary, a team member, more free time, whatever it is, like a new house, like, do you truly believe that person that you are currently operating from, that identity and those patterns and the behaviors you are currently operating from, is the same person that's going to achieve all of those other things? Probably not. So then how do we align ourselves with that future version of ourselves? Like, how do we become that person who has a bigger vision, has a bigger goal, and it feels like that's not natural, like you were born to do that, that's normal, right? That's not a big, amazing thing, like that's your normal. How do we do that? Well, that's the big question, isn't it? But that's why I created Industry Leader Lounge. That's why I am a mentor, because that's the kind of people that I mentor. People who are very comfortable and they're at a good level in their business and life is pretty good, but they want to expand and they want more, and they know they have the capacity to achieve more. They know they have the capacity to do 300K in revenue, 500K, 700K, whatever it is, right? And most of my clients, they also, like, some of them have big visions, big goals, like multi-7-figure company goals. And other people are like, you know what? I want like multiple 6 figures in revenue, but I want to continue to work 4 or 5 hours per day maximum. And that's it. And I'm happy there. And that's good as well. Like, that's fine. But whatever your goal is, whatever your vision is, you need to understand that who you are operating from is not the same person that's going to build the next level. And that's why usually we need to start making very bold decisions and actions inside of our business, as we are right now, to push ourselves out of our comfort zones, so then we can finally become that person and act like the person who can achieve more. Like, in real time, like taking you into my business, you know, as I've told you before, in the past, I wasn't comfortable with the idea of having a team member, like a team at all. And I had to change that. I had to push myself into making the uncomfortable decision to invest a lot of money into my team, and now also putting a lot of structures and processes in place so my business is prepared to scale, right? So we have the systems and processes in place to scale. And that's a very like practical thing to do, but it also is very much an identity expansion for me, because now I feel like I am an entrepreneur with a company and a team. Like, I am not just a solopreneur who has an offer and buy my offer. Like, I'm running a real business and I have a team and we are doing things together, and you know, I'm running my business differently. I'm running my business in a way that's so much more serious and so much more, you know, goal oriented. And that's like an identity shift in itself, but it had to be pushed out of my comfort zone. And I was pushed out of my comfort zone when I invested, you know, over 100K into different mentors and coaches. Like, I've been pushed out of my comfort zone. I've been pushed out of my comfort zone launching this vlog channel. Like, there's so many things, and that's kind of the level that I hold for my clients. Like, when my clients start working with me, we raise their freaking standards on every single level for their leadership, for their clients, for their backend, for their strategy, their marketing, their personal brand. We literally raise the levels, and I hold that standards for them. I hold the standards for them and challenge them into acting like the person that scales and making decisions in alignment with being the person that scales. And that means putting them out of their patterns that's keeping them smaller, like overthinking an Instagram post instead of thinking about growing their business, right? Like, those are the kind of things that we talk about, because I don't want my clients to continue to act in alignment and have the same patterns, behaviors, focus as someone who is at their current level. Like I'm pushing them up into their next level. And that's really what my job is as a mentor, is getting them to see their blind spots of what you don't see currently. Because when people come to me, like, I know immediately, I know usually very fast what's holding you back, both in your leadership and inside of your business, what's holding you back from fully scaling and growing into like doubling your revenue. And it's so easy for me to see, which is why it's so frustrating sometimes when, you know, when people don't work with me, because it's like, I know how to help you. So work with me and I can help you. So that's the kind of mentor that I am for my clients, both in my one-on-one and in Industry Leader Lounge. So if you feel like you can relate to this podcast episode, you feel like I can so relate to like being that person who is comfortable. I want to grow more, but I don't know how. I don't know what I need to change, who I need to become, like what's going on. Like that's the kind of person that I work with. So again, like I want you to write to me on Instagram. I think that's the easiest way. DM me on Instagram. My name is Joella Skog on Instagram. So message me there and tell me that you're interested in working with me and you want to discuss what could be the right fit. And we will talk about that, because you are able to both be in my group, Industry Leader Lounge with high-level entrepreneurs, or in my one-on-one, where I work extremely closely with my one-on-one clients. Like I literally become not only your mentor, but also your marketing and sales consultant, basically. So this is really only for those of you that are serious about scaling your business and expanding beyond your current level. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast episode. I hope you enjoyed, and we will talk next week.